In this video, I'm going to talk about where you are on the health spectrum and where you should aim to be. So what do I mean by health spectrum? If you imagine two extremes of health, the most unhealthiest behaviors, somebody who, let's say, smokes, drinks alcohol to excess, eats a highly inflammatory, highly processed diet that's nutrient poor, full of processed carbohydrates, sugars, processed oils, hardly any good nutrients, and does zero exercise. So that's the worst extremes of health. But let's say the opposite is, let's define it as somebody who has 1 to 2 nutrient-rich meals per day and only has what's required to nourish his or her body. That's composed of the best quality animal protein, non-starchy vegetables, minimal or zero carbohydrates, starchy carbohydrates, zero processed foods, processed oils. Regular exercise that involves stimulating muscles, weightlifting, cardiovascular exercise, regular stretching, and optimal sleep supplementation, and so on. Let's say that's the optimal, the other end, the other extreme end of health. So you have to think about where you are on that spectrum. Unfortunately, a lot of people, particularly in Western society, are closer to the unhealthy example than they are to the healthy example. And they're not actually in the middle, they're probably a bit closer to the unhealthy example. And if you want to take control of your health, so whether that be your physical shape, so you want to get lean, you want to lose weight, you want to be stronger and fitter, and at the same time optimize your metabolic health, reduce your risk of chronic disease, reduce aging, or combat the effects of aging, physical aging, then you want to be closer to the other extreme. Now, it's very difficult for anyone to maintain that 100%. They're talking about elite athletes or people who have a lot of time and able to concentrate on achieving those. But still, you want to take the steps so that you are building up the habit so you are closer to that extreme. And that starts with the foundation. So working on your diet so that most of what you eat most of the time is the most nutrient-dense foods, minimizing the inflammatory foods and processed carbohydrates, processed seed oils, a diet that contains animal protein and the best vegetables. You want to be able to do regular exercise that stimulates your heart and your muscles. So it's not good enough just to do simple cardio. You want to do things that actually stimulate your muscles as well. So whether that's bodyweight exercises or lifting in the gym. And again, you want to do that regularly. So if you decide to start doing it once a week, once every 2 weeks, more frequently, whatever, start this habit and make it regular. And then you will once you start doing that regularly, even if it's a small steps and you maintain them, you're going to then reach a point where you want to elevate yourself a bit more, push yourself a bit more, so you're closer to that extreme. So you want to actually be above average. You don't want to be in the middle. You actually want to be closer to the so-called perfect healthy person, so that you're going in that direction. So let me know what you think about this health spectrum and whether or not you agree that you should always be pushing yourself to be the best physical version and aiming for this perfect health example, which most of us will probably never be able to achieve, but at least we should be aiming in that direction rather than the default, which is the unhealthy direction.